The Hot Topic Krew Chapter 2. The Pains of the Past. Dark Pit sat in his bedroom, blasting Trapped because he was upset about the whole Hot Topic change. He couldn't believe it. His store, the one he cherished and met his beloved Lucas, completely changed. That Yossi was a menace, one who needed to be stopped once and for all. The edgy angel sighed, as headstrong blared. He recalled his memory, the day he became who he was. After all, goths had painful backstories. It was the summer of 1999, because angels live in the 90s. Dark Pit, or rather, Other Pit at the time, was always overshadowed by the other angel. Palutna loved him more even though he didn't care much for her. Others found him to be weird, a geeky loser. He secluded himself from the world as they laughed at his pain. One day Pit asked him if he wanted to play tag. Dark Pit frowned, shaking his head. Pit shrugged as he became worried about Pit too. Realizing he needed his own identity, Dark Pit checked out MTV as a song really clicked to him. His eyes were glued to the TV, drawn to Linkin Park as he watched. He realized how much he related to the song, realizing that fear will be his downfall if kept confusing what is real. He needed change, to stop being called Pitu as Palutna called him. He decided from now, he's Dark Pit. Meanwhile Lucas was being yelled at by Ike, his father. Meanwhile his mother Soren was reading the newspaper, uninterested in his affairs.
You need to get away from that angel. He's a bad influence and has destroying your life,
yelled Ike with concern. Lucas sighed, cussing at his father.
Fuck you, Dad. You don't tell me what to fucking do, dickweed,
snapped Lucas. He ran into his room, slamming the door before blasting 9-inch nails at full volume. Ike sighed as he didn't know what to do with his son. Ever since that damn Dark Angel, Lucas never been the same. He started listening to emo music, dressing in all black, almost reminding him of someone. He glanced at his wife as he read the newspaper, thinking to himself.
Hey Soren, what do you think is going on with Lucas?
Asked Ike. He was worried for his son as he took on both roles because Ike loved wearing women's clothes. Soren placed the newspaper down on the coffee table as it talked about the success of Shulk and his movie star boyfriend Math. Shulk was a famous director who made Finding Memo, Memzen, The Great Meme Detective, and a hit classic, Silence of the Memes.
He's just going through a phase just like any other teenager,
said Soren, all deadpan as he is. Truth is, he couldn't stand anyone else besides Ike and Lucas. Everyone to him was annoying because, like Dark Pit, he was a former goth.
You sure about that?
Questioned the mercenary, who also was a businessman.
Yes, I'm sure. Now let's go to bed.
Lucas sighed, missing his boyfriend. He took a sip of his sweet Pacific Cooler Capri Sun. He recalled the first time he truly discovered himself. It was at the Smash Manor after the events of losing his brother Claus to the capitalist pig Porky. Everyone took advantage of his meek personality, mocking him as the bullies were none other than Roy, Little Mac and Samus. They were all extremely rich and popular, Samus making fun of anyone who listened to the Gorillaz while Little Mac didn't understand why. He hated fighting. Roy, on the other hand, was the biggest jerk in the face of the planet, always waving his cash without a care in the world and of course, acting like he was a motherfucking pimp as he loved 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Ludacris and all those other rap artists. One day in the mansion, a dark angel came. He was called Dark Pit as he hated everyone and told them to go fuck themselves. Roy and Little Mac loathed him, wanting to destroy him. They tried all their pranks on him but to no avail, they failed. He was too smart. Lucas couldn't help but find him cute. However, he gave him a hard time. He one day had a gun as he walked to the mall to kill Dark Pit. He was in the dark store known as Hot Topic, metal blasted as everyone inside wore piercings and whatnot. Soon, another song played as it clicked with Lucas. It was 9-inch nails as he was drawn in, and then Dark Pit finally confessed his love. From there, they started dating. Meanwhile, Shadow thought about Maria and how much he missed her. He blasted Korn because they were great and Maria loved that band. Of course he lost her when the damn GUN ran by no other than the big bad King DDD broke in.
Please Shadow, you must help us all,
said Maria before releasing him to Earth. She gave him all her Korn CDs as a memento. The edgy hedgehog stopped time, screaming. Korn saved him from losing it as he began attached to a store named Hot Topic. It reminded him so much of Maria as it was her favorite store. Her grandfather was also hardcore and listened to Korn as well. Everyone in space loved Korn. In the Temple of Souls, Sia blasted My Immortal by Evanescence as she cried about not having Link's love. He had to love that stupid bitch Zelda because she was better than her. Lana, however, was getting sick of hearing Evanescence because she was a prep. She banged on her sister's door in the edgy side of the Temple of Souls.
Please turn that stuff down, Sia. It's awful and annoying, said
the weeaboo girl. She was blasting Nightcore as she loved Nightcore. She also happened to be into raves as that's where she met Pit. He dubbed her his pretty rave girl.
No, fuck off, you goody goody animate loving sack of shit,
snapped Sia. She sobbed, stuffing herself with chocolate as she remembered the time when she was deemed one of them. It was in the time when she was more open and social. Back then, her skin wasn't tan and her hair was a light lavender color. She was more reserved and dressed appropriately rather than showing off her assets. Her best friend was none other than Princess Zelda herself. They were inseparable and knew each other since they were 5 years old. Both of their fathers worked for NASA as they were finding the cure for the chicken papers that were printing out of nowhere. They shared everything to include their secrets. In their middle school years, they both met Link as Sia fell in love with him at first sight. She blushed every time he walked by, wanting him to notice her. One day, she slept over at Zelda's as they discussed things.
Hey Zelda, can I tell you something?
Asked Sia. And Sunk blasted out and then they played their favorite artist, David Guetta. Sia loved Guetta's music and thought of it to be the best in the world.
Sure, what is it?
Asked Zelda.
You know Link, I want to confess to him as he's my crush. I really like him, you know,
said Sia.
Oh, you should. That would be cute. You guys would make such a cute couple.
2 days later, Sia took a deep breath as she went to confess her love to Link, however, froze. Zelda was there, holding Link's hand as she confessed to him as he said yes. This broke Sia's heart as she froze, being betrayed by her best friend. The young girl sobbed and ran. As she went to her house, her twin sister Lana was confused, wondering what was wrong with Sia. However, she locked the door. Sobbing into a pillow, she ate some cookies as she grabbed more things from the cabinet, stuffing herself until she turned on the radio. Going Under by Evanescence started to play as she listened, relating to Amy Lee and thinking she was hot. Then, she dyed her hair white and started painting her nails black. Later on, she got it down as she changed and practiced dark magic. Zelda was her enemy and she needed to die.
That bitch must die.
Wolf lived outside, being a wolf because no one thought he deserved a house. He was fine and normal as he was a space pirate. He joined the Brawl tournament, being good and victorious until those words were said. Clone! Shouted Mario. Mario hated clones and killed his other counterpart Dr. Mario before he came back for the 4th game. Wolf was broken as he missed being a fighter. His spaceship was confiscated as his friends said fuck you to his face and left him. He was now in the forest where he was free to pee, shit and do whatever he wanted. He had a habit of howling at full moons since wolves do that shit. Then he heard the best band ever, Slipknot. They were so good and hardcore, he realized he must go to Hot Topic. It was the best store ever as everyone was goth and it scared their preps and the other haters. It was the best place ever until it turned prep. Last but not least, Mutuo mediated, thinking of who to kill first. He lived through nothing but pain as he was created by Giovanni and he wanted to use him for power and for telling Ash Ketchum that he was a loser. Then Mutwo blew up the place and escaped, killing most of Team Rocket. He was the most edgiest and hardcore of the goths. Listening to Rammstein. He lived in Germany for a while before going to Smash. He scared people as they kicked him out, Peach thinking he was a monster. Jigglypuff hated him and Luigi peed his pants every time he saw Mutwo. Then they kicked him out of Smash as he wanted to kill them. Soon, Sakurai came to his door and said,
Please come back, everything sucks without you, Mutwo. I hate everyone except you as I'm in love with you.
Sakurai, you beautiful man.
They were lovers for a while until someone killed Sakurai. Then Mutwo decided he needed to take lives at Smash, not spare them. This time, he was going to kill all those who wronged him, and the goth crew however, made a mental note to steal Sia's wallet. After all, she was a fat goth who needed no food as she seemed to eat everything. Then again, Mutwo was an asshole and found her link obsession and motivations weird. Meanwhile in the headquarters of the Preps, Yoshi sat in the round table along with King DDD, Lady Palutena, Rosalina, Zelda, Roy, Little Mac and Samus.
It seems that the mall gods are upset at the noob changes,
said the green dinosaur. He was all Terminator-like now since they killed him during Smash 4. He wanted his revenge and wanted Pitu and Lucas to suffer the most.
Yes, how about we go after the Capri Sun Company next?
Suggested Dedede. Soon, Porky joined them as he was late to the meeting.
Good idea, DDD. After all, capitalism is the way to defeat the company.
He came back from the Electric Daisy Carnival as he partied with them.
Perhaps a team to combat their forces,
suggested Zelda.
After all, they need an obstacle and whatnot. Besides, they're going to fall anyways. We have the best people to combat them.
She clapped, as a stage rose from the ground.
Meet Pit the leader, then next we have Luke, Rio, Sonic, Fox, and Ness. I haven't found the next member yet.
Perhaps I can be of help.
Turning around, the Preps saw none other than Robin, the famous tactician. He was known as the best of the best as he was super genius and good at math and saving the world from terrible emo music.
I can be the tactician for the group. After all, I still have a score to settle with a certain someone,
said Robin. Everyone was delighted as they were determined to stop the goths. Roy pressed a button as money rained from the roof as rap music played and all the girls came out to dance. The next day, Dark Pit waited for his crew. While waiting, he saw a man yelling at a young girl.
Lucina, where are you going?
Said Crom.
Away from you, father. Leave me alone,
wailed the princess. She ran away, leaving Crom to go on his knees and cry.
She could be useful to our team,
said Mutwo. Dark Pit glanced up, wondering what the psychic Pokemon meant.
Well, we can use a female on our team,
he said.
Don't we already have one?
Stated Pitu. The more the merrier. After all, Lucina was broken.
See, it doesn't count. She's a fat bitch,
said Mutwo. Man, he really loved calling her that.
Yeah, and before she kills you again.
The next goal was to recruit Lucina. Chapter to end.